Kyle Hardy on Wiregrass International in Headland, Alabama. We started selling Mahindra in approximately 1988. They were imported in at that time from, we came in at Houston and was brought on to us. Mahindra USA had not started here then, they came after then. There was several of us stores around that were getting the tractors in, made it worthwhile to bring them. And at that time we had two tractors we carried. One was without power steering, one was with power steering. They were both two-wheel drives. And now we've evolved. I have at the store now 125 prototype that we're running now. That's a long ways from the 35 two-wheel drives to where we're at now with cab, the air, the remote systems we got, the power we got, the tractors that we have, the size of tractors that we have. We're getting into a larger and larger market than what we used to be in. And I'm from a farming area, and I'm trying to actually incorporate these tractors into a row crop farming situation that's sort of new to farmers around us. We're bringing Mahindra in because they've always looked at them as small tractors. But now we're getting tractors big enough now that can do some farming, not your big farming, but small farmers are ideal for them. And we're getting into a tractor that will do that market now. And the prototypes are the first of those that we've seen, and I think with a few changes we're getting to where we need to be to move into the row crop farm segment of it. We'll see how that works, but we've come a long way from, now we have from the E-Maxes all the way up through the 9125, and that's a big horsepower range. A lot of tractors in that range for different applications down through there, and we have a lot of different implements now that we have access to putting on them with backhoes, tillers, mowers, post hole diggers, grapples, hay forks. And we had been into the hay side of it for a pretty good while with these tractors, and now, like I said, we're trying to incorporate now into the row crop side of it. We were an international dealer when we first was introduced to these tractors and come by, and we didn't know how to pronounce the name, and none of our customers knew how to pronounce the name, and it's sort of hard to sell something that you can't even tell them what kind it is. But it was based off the international frame, so it caught on and began to grow, and now Mahindra name is known pretty well anywhere you go now. It's recognized now as a name, but people had to learn it, learn to pronounce it, learn what it was, learn the quality behind it, learn the people behind it. And it's been since then, it's people come in and they come in and ask for Mahindra by name. And used to, you had to introduce them to the Mahindra name. They had no idea when you said Mahindra, what are you talking about? But now they know the name, they recognize the name. And that's a big thing in any kind of market, is having a name recognition. And Mahindra has gotten that through the years, as the name recognition and the name of being a good product, trouble-free product with good people stand behind it. I started out with partners, and through death and swapping out and others buying out and going different ways, I've wound up with the whole business now. My partner now is my wife. Plays a big part in my business. Most decisions I run by her. She seems to have a better outlook of things sometimes than I do, and it's good to run things by her. And see, don't always go along with her, but we do that. I have my youngest son works there with me now. I'm trying to work my way to work maybe out of it and work him into it, and I'm old enough now, I think I want to do some things I want to do. I've got grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and I'm ready to spend time with them. I didn't spend the time with my children I probably should have, but I'm trying to make up with it with grandchildren and having a good time doing it. And I'm trying to get to where I spend more and more with them. And my son Jeffrey's in there now, and he's fitting in. He's getting more comfortable. He's learning more. He's asking a lot fewer questions, and got a bunch of good employees too. That's another thing. Is they handle anything in that department. They handle it. They don't have to come ask me. They pretty well know what I want done, and they handle it. And good employees is a very important part of any business. I think that you could be in is that, and I'm fortunate to have the group of men that I have, and I have a lady secretary there that she's sort of my right hand. She fills in with my emails and my calls like of that nature that she does, and she does all our financing for us too. She runs all our contracts. You have to have it all, and I've got as good a group as you can have, as anybody can have there with me.